Hey everyone, what's up? It's Annie Lise. Welcome back to my channel. Let's clean out the van because it's disgusting. Oof. What? I'm so excited to put this winter sleeping bag away. It's time to go. Thankfully, I did not have to use my bat, but I did sleep easier at night having it by my side. If you're wondering about this blender, this is the blender from my childhood. This is a very old blender, but mine recently broke and I stopped at my dad's house to pick up this one. That's why it's in here. Okay, I have now cleaned everything off of the top surface. And if you watch my videos, you've seen me do this a million times, but this is how I take my bed back into like a couch. So step one is to close the doors. So that kind of fits snug in there because I have like a hole cut, and then I have these clips the top on. And if we open the back up again, this is where I clip in this. Wow, this got really dirty. Ooh, something spilled on it, gross. Okay, so I will clip this in real quick. And so when I'm camping, I normally keep 2 of these in here, but if I'm not going on a trip, I usually only just keep 1 because the other one, don't need it really. Now let's address what's going on with the floor. Okay, I got a trash bag and I'm gonna throw everything away. But I feel the need to preface that normally in the van I try to keep it pretty clean, but I was in Colorado and that's when I decided, okay, I want to go home. And so I just made that my goal of getting home, and I knew that I would be home in like a day or 2. Yeah, the last 2 days kind of got feral with it and just kept driving and didn't really care about what it looked like. Also, I had 2 people with me. Well, 1 person. I had 2 people in the van. Me and my sister drove back to Michigan together, and 2 people in the van is a completely different game than 1 person because this van is so small. So yeah, last 2 days got crazy, and that's why we're here to clean it all up. Also, I'm not proud. As some of you guys might know, I am an environmental science girly, so it hurts me to buy stuff like this. But I don't have really any water system in the van, obviously, so a lot of times I will like buy these, or I will like show a photo of what I normally buy, like bigger water containers, and then I will just like refill these up. So yeah, I'm gonna go recycle this right now. Yeah. Okay, comment down below if you keep a tissue box in your car. I feel like that is something that I always have. I'm not into the napkin thing. I always want a real tissue box. I did succumb to buying one of these too late. Should have bought one earlier. Cups. Box. Edges. Okay, the outside's looking a lot better if you don't look at that, but we got it here. So yep, that's good enough for me for right now. but the front seat is where things dun, dun, dun. Shamrock shake. It's March, people. Make sure you get your shamrock shake before they're gone. Skittles! Oh my god. They're frozen, obviously. Still pretty good though. My spatula! I'm looking for that. My books from this year. I have 2 Canyonlands and I can't find my Death Valley one. And my Arches one is somewhere. So I got these, but I gotta find them. Anyone else collect these? I also collect all of the patches to every park that I get. So this is the Canyonlands one. So yeah, I think I knocked off 5 more on my list in the last couple months. Yeah, I got a lot of patching to do coming up. So I live by a school and I was trying to film this video like during their lunch so that I knew that they wouldn't be out here. But yeah, I have screaming children all the time. Now I'm going to go get a car wash and then I'm going to use the little vacuums to vacuum out the car. Oh, and one other thing that I wanted to do was fill up my windshield wiper fluid, and I also wanted to blow up my tires really quick before I leave, but I can't find my tire pressure gauge, so that's gonna have to wait. But I'm gonna do the windshield really quick. Arrived. Whoa, I picked a good day to get a car wash. Not. Alright, so we're back. The van is pretty much clean. I have some things I need to still do, like go through some of the drawers on the bottom and just like put away some of my camping gear. I obviously have like a ton of laundry to do too, but at least the van itself is clean right now. So I'm really glad that I went on this kind of like mini adventure with the van before I invested more money into the actual build out on the road. I kind of learned like things that I want to change about it and then things that I actually really like about it. So my most recent road trip was a winter road trip, and while I tried to stay pretty south, my end goal was getting to Oregon. So I did have to go through some cold, and a lot of my nights were really cold. And I think that was kind of a rude awakening to having the van. So I don't have any like paneling or anything like that, so there's no insulation in there. Well, I was fine and stuff. Like I had like my sleeping bag and I just wore lots of layers and like it wasn't really that big of a deal. So I would say that my van is definitely more of a summer, spring, fall vehicle. But winter, I mean, it was doable. I think the biggest thing that I felt like I was lacking on with this trip in regards to the van was the cooking, because I love to cook and I definitely felt like I was just like backpacking, where like I was eating like dehydrated meals or just like things that were really easy, like pasta and rice and things like that I just felt like I was backpacking pretty much when it came to food, which I mean, you can make a lot of really yummy backpacking meals, but I definitely felt like, okay, I'm camping and camping is great, but I want to kind of up my food game. So I think for improvements to be made to the van. I would love to have a 2-burner stove somewhere worked in here. That would be like really, really upping my game, and I would love that. Just to make my version of van life feel a little bit more like van life and not backpacking / camping. Originally, I was coming from an SUV, so if you've seen any of my like really old cringy videos, I did basically what I just did, but I did it in an SUV once. So I went across the country and back in a like mid-size SUV, a Ford Escape. And so when you have experience like sleeping in the trunk of a car basically with the seats down, everything is like a step up. You're like, yes, like I have a, you know, a place to sleep and I can like sit up in it. Yes, my van is very basic, but compared to the SUV, it's like, oh. But right now, I mean, I do really like this van, and I think I was able to have a lot of fun in it for very, very cheap. The other thing I liked about it was that I could fit 2 people in it comfortably. There were 2 different parts of my journey where I had another person with me, and like we have more than enough space. It was very comfortable. You know, we can fully spread out our legs with the way that my bed opens up, and so it was like pretty comfortable. Cold typically, but comfortable space wise. It was a little bit annoying to have to get the bed out every night, but like in a van of this size, I think no matter what orientation you have, you're probably gonna have to have some sort of like bed that you put away or you don't put away. And so the reason why I ended up going with like having my bed up against the back is because I don't use my van full time. So a lot of the times I'll just like be getting off of work and I will pull up to like a beach or like a beautiful view, and I just like open my windows and I just like hang out. So I don't need to sleep in it every night. And so that's why I like having like the big view. Whereas a lot of people with smaller vans like this, they'll have their bed long ways but like up against the side. And so I still wanted that, like, you know, that Instagram like picture where I could like look out, feel like I had like a big bed in here. So I still like that concept and I do want to keep that concept, but if I start using this more regularly for like living in, I might have to switch things up because it's not super great for, you know, cooking in it, literally doing anything else in it except for like hanging out. I hope that makes sense. Like, to me it makes sense, but like I know that there's better ways to have more space in here, but I wanted to make it for what I use it for most. And I have some really big life changes that just happened that I'm sure I will tell you guys about later, but things have changed, and so I might be changing the van to go along with where my life is right now. I love my van. I do want to make some changes. Again, there are things to think about, and I need to figure out what I'm doing next because that might determine the level of money and time and changing that I want to put into this. So stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't yet, because I'm sure the next thing I do is going to be crazy once I figure it out. I would say the first maiden voyage of this tiny little build was a complete success. I learned a lot. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Bye!